Alright dudes, welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be showing you how to beat Enhanced 3. So what you're first going to want to do is take the rules, general hints, and recommendations. The rules and recommendations you're going to want to read. The general hints are also going to be something you would want to read, but you don't have to read them right now like you do the rules and recommendations. And in the general hints, there is the link to the walkthrough, but the general hints aren't a walkthrough. They're just like, oh, have you tried this? That can work. And you should also make sure the texture pack is working, and also subscribe to me. And with all that done, click the Start Map button. After you click the Start button, you'll be in this room, and you'll be asked a couple questions. Please answer them. After you've answered the questions, you'll be transported to this forest. All you have to do is just walk. After you get to a certain point, some pre-map dialogue will play. After the pre-map dialogue, then you'll be able to walk to this end. Now all you've got to do is walk a bit further. See this desert temple? You're just gonna have to make it here. And now some more pre-map dialogue is gonna play. After the pre-map dialogue, you'll be teleported to this area. If you try to go this way, well, now if you try to go this way, you'll get teleported back. So, what you're gonna need to do is go here and open this shulker box. Place the odd mechanism on the warp nylium and the strange button on the odd mechanism. It doesn't matter where. I could place it here, 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 anywhere. And then the bio upgrader is going to teleport here. And your first power up is going to be in this crimson tree thingy with the rabbit's foot. So you're going to put this into the container and walk inside. And now with this power up, you can jump higher. This has been the first power up in Enhanced and Enhanced 2, and I'm continuing the pattern in Enhanced 3. The bio upgrader has a bit of dialogue, so we'll just listen to this. Now that the dialogue is done, you don't actually have to wait for it to finish. You'll have some parkour. Now, I'm pretty bad at parkour, but I can manage to do this. If you know how to sprint and jump at the same time, you should be able to eventually complete this. There. Open this shulker box and get the magma block for your second power-up. This second power-up makes you able to survive higher temperatures. So remember this area that you couldn't go through because it was too hot? Yeah, well now you can go through it just fine. If you'll walk a bit, then you'll come across this piglin village. There are a lot of NPCs around here. Most of them are not in the village. One of them's over there, and there are a lot of them in the mines. But I would recommend you talk to them, but you don't really have to talk to any of them, except for one, the chief. Talk to Chief Dargnok, and he'll give you some pretty important information because he gives you a quest. You don't actually have to talk to him, but I would recommend you do. Chief Dargnok gives you a quest, and that is to go find something to cushion his solid gold throne. We'll get to that in a little bit. But in the meantime, there are 3 things that we need to collect. The first is in this lava pool with an arrow in the ground pointing to it. You get a jar of enzymes, which we'll use later as our third power-up. But there are 2 more things we need. The second is on top of the Crimson Roots, which are these crimson planks. Finally, the third item is in the mines, and it's right here in this shulker box, a rusted key. Now what we're gonna do is get back to the bio upgrader. For the first half of the map, dying is a very efficient way of getting back to the bio upgrader. So you can just hop in here, and you're back. Place the jar of enzymes in the bio upgrader to get your third upgrade. This upgrade gives you some speed, which is great for navigating the map, but you'll also need this for solving a puzzle. You're also going to have to put the rusted key in here. The bio upgrader will restore the key, and now we have a new puzzle we can solve. If we go to this lava pool, we'll see some parkour that we couldn't get to earlier, but now with the speed we can complete this. Like this, and like this. You're going to need the de-rusted key to open this, and you're going to get some shears. Now, what you're going to want to do is get some weeping vines. 6 will be plenty. You can craft the weeping vines into string, and this is the only recipe you're allowed to bulk craft. With this, you can go into any of these houses. I would recommend the workshop since there's a bunch of stuff condensed into one place. Now, you were given a recipe earlier that told you to shred these. So, you can do this to get some sawdust, and you can use the ink sacks to get some cloths, or the string to get cloths. And you'll have to manually craft with them. So what you're going to do is look at the recipe, and then you're going to have to copy it. You're going to get an unstuffed cushion, then do this to get a stuffed cushion, and then you're going to... This part's optional, but I would recommend it. You put a cloth here, and then you can get a fire blanket, which can put out fires. The fire blanket will be useful for later, but the cushion you need for Chief Darknut's quest. Talk to Chief Darknut again, and he will take your cushion. Chief Darknut gives you a lava bucket as thanks, which you can use for your 4th power-up. So let's just get back to the bio upgrader real. Put this in there, and we get our 4th power-up. This power-up gives you fire resistance, and the Eye of Light will let you know that you can now enter Pescaldo's shrine. The entrance is right here, and you can swim through the lava, and there are signs above each of these. The right needs finishing, right and left both need to be complete, and something is off in this room. Fix it and you may pass. This is referring to the holder for the torch right here. You just gotta rotate this right, and this door will open. Now you get to a barrier maze. Like, normally barrier mazes are pretty hard, but you should just be able to feel through it and get through. I managed to get through so easily because I have a lot of muscle memory from testing this. Flip this lever to complete the right side, and then go through here to get the thing for the 5th power-up. We don't need it just yet, but we'll hold on to it now. Now the right side is finished, so we can enter here. And there's a little piston puzzle. What you're going to need to do is do the following. This one is pretty easy, but there are harder ones that follow. You can always reset the puzzle here. Now we get to this room, and this is where you're going to need the 5th power-up. Put this electromagnetic core in the bio upgrader to get your 5th power-up. This 5th power-up is being able to control certain redstone components by standing on them. This isn't like, oh, you can only control redstone lamps or piston. No. Some of them are going to be controllable and others aren't. And it doesn't depend on the type. It just is sort of based on how the puzzle suits it. For example, you can't activate these, but in this room you can activate these. Just like so. What you're going to need to do is move this here, and move this here to sort of complete the piston chain. This one's a little harder, but it's not terrible. And there. Now you can complete the left side. Come back here and flip this lever, and you'll be able to enter here. This is the room of the first boss fight, which I'll walk you through. And some dialogue is going to play. After a while, Pescaldo reveals himself as a flying fish on fire that speaks Spanish. Why did I add this to the game? I don't know, I guess I just thought it was funny. After a little bit, Pescaldo will start to act a little off and kinda angry, I guess. I don't know. You'll learn why he's doing this if you do the secret route. And now you're gonna have to fight him. He's gonna fly to random locations and set the ground on fire. You can set the ground out using the fire blanket, which is why it's useful. Now, there's a very advanced method that you're gonna have to use to defeat such a ferocious beast. You gotta whack him. The first phase isn't too hard, but it is a bit slow. You can also crouch up to the corners like this and get some wax on. I didn't demonstrate that well, but if you do it like this, you can whack him like that. But not on the corners, though. After Pescaldo has been sufficiently whacked and he's under half health, then the second phase is gonna start. You know those fish statues? Well, their mouths are gonna open. This phase is a lot harder, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily hard. It's just that the first phase was pretty easy. Now Pescaldo will keep doing his thing, and you still gotta whack him. But this time, fireballs will come out of the statues' mouths. They should be pretty easily dodgeable if just one of them shoots fireballs, but if you have multiple shooting fireballs, the corners are a great safe space to go. And even if they do hit you, they don't deal that much damage. Just make sure you don't fall off, because you will die. See? The corners. Anyways, once Pescaldo has been sufficiently whacked a second time, then the fight will end. And the fishy mouths will close. And some more dialogue will play. After the Dark Wizard teleports the second half of the fire core, then you're gonna have to move up here and initiate some more dialogue. With all that dialogue out of the way, you'll now be outside of Mount Volcan, and the Dark Wizard has taken the second half of the fire core. Also, the Eye of Light tells you to go let the piglins know that the fire cores have merged, and now it's a lot hotter out here. Your fire resistance is gone, you can take damage again from fire and lava, but all the piglins' dialogues have changed, and I would recommend you go talk to all of them. But the one piglin you'll have to talk to is Bama, and you'll need to let her know that the fire cores have merged. Bama gives you one of her flint and steels, and this is something you're gonna need to progress. Now you're gonna need to go head to that nether portal over there. Light it up with the flint and steel and step inside. Now you're back at the desert, and there's a bunch of more stuff you're gonna need to do. So first, in the cave here, there's not really much in here, but there is one thing up here, which is an iron ingot. And in the Savanna, there's a stick, which you're also gonna need. Now, you're gonna need to talk to all of the villagers. Now, you should talk to all of them. It's highly recommended. You're gonna need to talk to Timmy for a hint, and they all offer a lot of useful information. But the one that you're gonna need to progress is to talk to Cheeseburger and Cactus. Cheeseburger and Cactus say that they want a dog, and they want to know where they can get one. Now, Donald has 2 dogs, well actually 3. A new one came along while you were gone, so you can talk to Donald. If you talk to Donald before Cheeseburger and Cactus, he would talk about wanting to get rid of the puppy because it can be difficult to deal with sometimes. But now, Donald is gonna say, oh sure, you can have the puppy since you've talked to Cheeseburger and Cactus. He tells you to go talk to them now, and you gotta go do that. Okay, so Cheeseburger and Cactus will end up with a new puppy, and Donald will end up with a less stressful life, and you'll end up with this sandy key. You're gonna want to go under here and get that encrypted book. But what the sandy key unlocks is back here. And you gotta get this dark wheat. You'll need 3 of them, and I'm assuming you've already talked to Jamie about the whole dark bread thing. The second one is in Donald's smoker. And remember the stick and iron ingot that I had you gather earlier? Well, that's for trade with Jack, which you can use to get a sledgehammer. You gotta go back to the plains area, and here you'll find some cracked cobblestone, and here is a normal key. You gotta go back to the desert, and from there you gotta go to the Savanna. In the Savanna, you'll find the 3rd dark wheat. Go to Jamie and she'll trade you, she'll bake the wheat into some dark bread. Anyways, what you're gonna need to do is put the encrypted book in the bio upgrader's container. The bio upgrader will decrypt this book, and in here is some instructions. These are just some instructions, and they essentially tell you that if you're blind when near something, then you've probably encountered a dark spirit, and that they really like food, especially food made from dark ingredients. And if you give it to them, for example by dropping it near them, then they'll give you something. Now, you can find one on top of the village elder's roof. This dark spirit has been here since enhanced, but only now will you be able to interact with it. It'll take the bread and initiate some dialogue. After the dialogue, you'll end up with a wither rose. Now, if you've talked to Timmy, he would have told you that he had a dream of people saying to put wither in cornflower's place. Now, if you don't remember, in Enhanced 1, there was a cornflower here, but you took that to get some saturation. Put wither in cornflower's place, and a new area will open up. I'm actually quite proud of this opening. You gotta walk in here, and you'll end up in this lab. Go into Seth Dunswick's office and click on this bookshelf. And in here is a key card. Put this key card number 1 in the first key card input. Eat that in here. And now you can go here. Take the second one. Put it in here. And this door will open up. Now, in here, if you haven't figured it out already, this lab is where the bio upgrader was built, and you'll see 5 redstone lamps, which you'll need to do by just fooling around and seeing what happens. One of them is right here. You gotta turn the page on that one, and you gotta press a button here for one of them. There's also a button behind here. And open this barrel. You can also open this barrel. And then that door will open. And you'll find Seth Dunswick's journal. I would recommend reading this, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You should pick up enough from the dialogue that follows after this. After you read that, just exit out here, and then you say you gotta go talk to the village elder, which is exactly what you gotta do. Enter the village elder's home and talk to him, and some dialogue will trigger. Okay, from the dialogue, the village elder will give you a rod that he used back when he was the sun sorcerer. So what you're going to need to do is go back to the bio upgrader. From this point onwards, you will never need to go back here again until you beat the Dark Wizard. And that's pretty much the end of the map once you beat the Dark Wizard. Put the broken rod inside the bio upgrader's container and enter the bio upgrader. Now you've gotten your 6th power up, which lets you shoot these cool light projectiles. They're kind of fun to play around with, but there is going to be something that you're going to have to do with them. You've probably seen this target block right around here. If you haven't, well, now you know, but what you need to do is fire a light projectile at it. And then you're going to need to go down this ladder. Flip this lever to toggle the portal. You can't access this area yet, but remember this, it'll be important later. That lever toggled the portal, and instead of being purple, now it's green. And yes, it toggles the portal, so you will be able to go back to the desert if you flick the lever again. Anyway, step in here. And you'll be teleported to the Mangrove Swamp. This is what I was talking about near the beginning of Enhanced 3's development, when I was talking about, like, a different kind of swamp, and not magical, but more natural. Anyways, there's a target block here. So you're going to need to hit that. And you're going to need to look across the Mangrove Swamp for these targets. The second one is right here. The third one is right here. And the final one is here. It's here. There. And now something has appeared in the swamp. Now you have this iron pickaxe that can break diorite, which you can use to leave the Mangrove Swamp. Mine the diorite here, and takes a little bit, but not too long. Alright, now we're out here, and we're back into the open. Now this is the Taiga village from Enhanced 2, and there's more villagers for you to interact with, and I would recommend you talk to them also. But you're gonna have to talk to Von Schnauzer because he gives you a quest. Von Schnauzer gives you this pickaxe, but it's shattered. And he also tells you to look for some blaze powder. If you haven't already guessed, we're gonna have to go back to the bio upgrader to get this pickaxe back in working condition. Yeah, anyways, go to the bio upgrader and plop this bad boy in here. Now the pickaxe is restored and you can use it. Anyways, now that you're back at the village, what you're gonna need to do is go into the well. From here, you gotta mine the smooth basalt and go down here. From here, you'll encounter this color room. All you're gonna have to do for right now is just trigger them all in order, which will be easy since they're just like that. With all of them inputted in order, you can step on the enter block. And there. These are going to be opened. Go back here and you'll find a crate obliterator, which you can use to mine these crates really fast. In here, you're gonna find a lectern that says most royal guards cannot yell or blink. And that is how you trigger that door. So you're gonna need to activate them using the first letter of each word. Most is magenta. Royal is red. Guards is green. Can't is, or cannot is cyan. Yell is yellow. Orange is or. And finally, blink is blue. Press the enter button and that'll open up. Now you're gonna enter this room. And here, you're gonna have some dialogue with the fire spirit back from Enhanced 2, remember? The fire spirit will give you some blaze powder. And after she finishes her dialogue, you're gonna go there. Step on here. And now you're gonna go talk to Von Schnauzer again. Talk to him and give him your blaze powder. He'll give you an invention of his that he finished with the blaze powder. And it doesn't work. Yeah, you gotta put this in here. And the final power-up will occur. Yes, it is a restoration, but since you have to enter the bio upgrader to power it, I consider it a power-up. It hurts kinda, but the grappler is finished. And you can use it to click on iron trapdoors. And yeah, it kinda does rip off the hook shot from Zelda, but I still made it in Minecraft, so I think that's pretty cool. And remember that area that I told you to remember? Well, this is the area where you use the grappler. So you gotta get down here and open this chest. And you're gonna have to find the jukebox. And sounds hard, like, oh, one jukebox in this entire map. But there's a hint, and it says that it's gonna be in a place where a jukebox will typically be, like a house or a building or something like that. It's not gonna be underneath a pool of lava or something dumb. If that's all you need, then feel free to go look for it yourself, but if you still need help, then continue watching. The jukebox is in the abandoned hut that Kraken is demolishing. Put that in there, and this passageway will open. And here's some parkour, and it's not too bad. You should be able to do it like all the other parkour, and if you can't, you can always just go into creative. You get up here and walk up these steps, and you get to the final parkour area, which is right here. This one you're gonna have to use your sideways arrows keys to make that jump. And this is the hardest parkour room, but still not terrible. And you gotta go up here, and this area you'll use your electromagnetic core powers to make these jumps. Then you're gonna jump up here, use a grappler, and finally make this jump and trigger some dialogue. Okay, and with the dialogue done, you can jump in here, and you're in the dark realm. Like the Eye of Light says, don't expect the dark spirits to be friendly. They're just gonna try and kill you here. Yeah, they are pretty annoying and hard to kill with your wooden sword. But there is a way to defeat them easier. Right here, there's a final key, and you can use this to open the final chest. And in here is a hero sword, which can kill them in 3 hits instead of 6. Yeah. And in the Dark Realm, there are 3 more piston puzzles. This one involves pressing buttons. What you're gonna need to do is exactly what I do. It's only the final one that I'd say is actually hard. These 2 I'd say are medium difficulty. Oh, I don't even remember how to complete my own puzzles. There. And now you'll be able to get up here with the grappler. I would recommend jumping. And there you can get this button that can be placed on netherite. These netherite blocks are right here, but before we place the button there, there's something else I want to do. That is the second piston puzzle. This one is requiring you to step on them. I'll demonstrate it. There. Now you can jump up again, and you get some TNT. Put the TNT here and the button here, and those will break. And now you're here, and you can't phase through blocks anymore. And this is the final piston puzzle. This one is hard, so I'll show you how to do this one. This one, it's also quite easy to mess up, so you should try and be careful. See? Stuff like that. Now, I'm gonna cheat and put those ones back to normal. It's up to you if you want to do stuff like this. I'm doing it because this is a walkthrough, and I want this to not be too long. Yeah, with these, you're gonna have to just move them over. And then you're just gonna have to do this. Now, there's nothing you can do right now in this area, so you're gonna have to move over here. Just like so. Oh yeah, right, I wasn't supposed to do that. Yeah, anyways, you gotta... And then move this piston like this. Yep. Now you gotta bring this piston over here. And now you have a sort of mini flying machine that you're gonna have to carry over. You gotta do it like this. And then when they're on here, you gotta activate both of these pistons to move them one over. And there. Now you can move this piston over and bring it here. And bring it there. Now from here it's smooth sailing. Just gotta move it through this piston chain. And there. Now. With all that done, you can jump on here and flick this lever. And then the door to the final boss fight opens. And some dialogue triggers. Before the boss fight, of course. Yeah, in this dialogue, you learn that the Dark Wizard is actually Harold, which I'm surprised no one saw coming. I mean, like, there was a village frozen over by a guy called the Dark Wizard, and in that same village there was a person missing, and an evil lair. That's perfect setup for a plot twist. I'm not sure how no one saw this coming. I mean, like, not one person said, "Ayo, Harold's totally gonna be the Dark Wizard." But nope, maybe some people knew and they just decided not to say anything to not spoil it, or maybe the thought crossed their mind, was like, maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe. No one has said this. I bet this is gonna shock a lot of people once the map comes out. Also, the Dark Wizard has the Hunger Core now, so he can merge all 3 cores and create total darkness. And now, the final boss fight begins. This is his hunger attack, and he was pretty tired when he met him, to the point that he can only really use those. The hunger attack just spawns some enemies. The fire attack is how you damage him. And you saw that in the one that let you damage him, there was some lava particles, and it was slightly bigger. It was also the direction that the Dark Wizard was facing. That is a telltale sign that's where you need to be. Yeah, sometimes he does 4 of them, but they're not too hard to deal with, since they move pretty slowly. But sometimes the husks block the way, which is pretty annoying. But that's mostly what the husks are, annoying. Oh, and there's the ice attack, which summons icicles. Like, the fire spirit fight, but they're pretty easy to dodge. You need to attack him 3 times before he enters his second phase. Once you've struck him 3 times, then some dialogue will start, you guessed it, and after that, the second phase. Yeah, and after that, the second phase triggers. Now, there are some differences. First, the ice attack has more icicles. Second, you'll have to damage him 6 times instead of 3. And the hunger attack summons wither skeletons instead of husks. The wither skeletons are slow, but they also do a lot of damage. So when he summons 4 of them, you're gonna have to be careful. Like here. Yeah, after you damage him 6 more times, then the fight will end. But not until, you guessed it, we have some more dialogue. After 2 phases, you're finally going to be able to beat him. So stand here, and then some more dialogue will play, and you'll finally beat the game. After that dialogue, then you have to go talk to the village elder, which you just gotta do this. After that dialogue, you have to trigger this target block, and that will trigger the way out. Walk here, and then around 30 minutes later, you're gonna end up here. Stand on here. And you'll end up back in the overworld. Now everyone has post-game dialogue, so you can go talk to them, and they'll respond differently. Well, except for the desert villagers. So turn this lever off to toggle the portal back to the desert. Step in here, and now you're in near the village elder's house. And in this house, village elder's gone, but there is a little pool here. You gotta step here, and you'll end up in this place and have some more dialogue. Okay, and this is how you beat Enhanced 3. In this room is like the secret ending and stuff, so let's get to that. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you how to get the secret ending, or at least how to sort it, since it's not too different from the normal ending. So what you're gonna need to do is go into this lava pool, the big one with the parkour, and go down this hole. Once you make it down here, you'll be greeted with this room, with some paper, an anvil, a way to get levels, and a hopper for putting the password in. Now, I'm not going to tell you the password. You got that in the lobby once you beat the normal ending, remember? Okay, once you put the password in, this door will open, and you'll fight the secret boss. I'm not going to tell you anything since this is the secret ending, and I just showed you the hardest part, and I'll let you figure out the rest on your own. I get that this is a walkthrough, but it's a secret ending. I'm gonna let it have some secrecy. Now I'm gonna show you the locations of all 10 secret emeralds and what you can use them for. The first one is right here, under this tree. The second one is under this lava pool. The third one is under this tree. The fifth one you can find here by turning this upside down holder right side up. And this will open that door. Go through and you'll find the fourth secret emerald. The fifth secret emerald is in the Savanna, in one of the trees. The sixth one is in Daniel and Ellen's house, in this smoker. The seventh one is in the pond at your house. The eighth one is in the Taiga village, in the water pool on the farm. The ninth one is in the Mangrove Swamp, inside one of the trees. Finally, the 10th one is inside Bill's house, in his ceiling. Take it, and you'll get the advancement for all 10 secret emeralds. Oh, and if you're wondering what you use these for, well, Charles will trade you 1 emerald for a cheeseburger. And these are retextured golden apples. Like, these can be pretty helpful if you need them at any point. And anyways, guys, that is the complete walkthrough for Enhanced 3. I hope you thought this was informative, and I really hope it helped you. Anyways, bye guys!